Welcome back, friends, to We're All Fine. I'm so happy to see you. This is Holly.
This is Carly.
Well, today, guys, it's been a real eventful week in the world of news and specifically politics. Although politics, I feel like, is pretty busy all the time, really, in the
All the
last
fucking
8
time.
years or so. And, Carly and I have been talking about it after watching our own social media, our own feeds. And I don't know about you, Carly, but I got some really special people in my feed.
Oh my god. Yeah, every so often, I feel like my feed is like my home, where I'll be sitting there and I feel like everything is good. And then I open a closet and I'm like, I need to clean out this closet. What the fuck was I doing with this thing that I don't need? And I can apply that same strategy to my social media, where I'm just sitting there scrolling, and then all of a sudden there's like a post or a person, and I'm like, what the fuck? Why the fuck are you here? And then I just clean it and I make it go away.
That's nice.
Fine.
I haven't cleaned out my social media closet in a while. But the thing is, guys, before you think back on our past episodes and go, wonder which way they lean. Although I don't know that you'd have to go back super far to figure that out. The truth of the matter is that it's not people in our feed who are leaning one way or another politically. It's everybody. I've got some people who we lean the same way, and some of the stuff that they put out, I'm like, ooh girl, that was your inside voice. It's like we don't put that out into the world. Let's keep that inside.
It's almost as if, okay, you have to have seen this video. There's a video, of course, that's been on social media, where a mom or a dad and their child are at a canyon, and you can see the other side of the canyon where people are. And people, it looks like from a distance that people are just standing right on the edge. And this kid goes, wow, that lady's like right on the edge. Somebody could just push her off. And the parent handles it beautifully and goes, okay, so that's an intrusive thought, and we don't say those out loud.
Wow.
And if only we all had that mom or that dad that stood by us before we posted things on social media, that was just like, wait, that is an intrusive thought, or that is not something we have to say out there. Now, do I believe in censorship? I don't. I don't believe in censorship. I believe everybody has a right to say what they want to. The only problem is if you wouldn't say it on a street corner, maybe you shouldn't post it to the World Wide Web. Is like a
nice
good rule of thumb, I think. Because we forget that this is a social platform. It is basically like standing in the middle of your town square, ringing a bell, and saying, this is how I feel. People assume that their Facebook, like, they don't treat it like it's a social platform. So people are going to say shit back.
And then you have to be prepared for that. Yeah. And, we're focusing a little bit on the political stuff, but I also have people in my feed who are real excited to share with me about every meal, which there are caveats to all of this. Have I posted about meals? You bet. If it was a meal where I was like, my God, this is beautiful in a restaurant. Yeah. Or, wow, this is like one of the best meals ever. Or,
Oh,
look
yeah.
what I just cooked. I need everybody to see this because I'm so proud of myself that this is my version of sticking, the picture I drew as a kindergartner of a giraffe. I want it up on the refrigerator for everyone to see because, damn it, that is the best giraffe anyone has ever seen.
When
And I
food
want it up there.
becomes art that you get to swallow, it should be shared. But beyond that, I don't know. That's not even my biggest bugaboo. My biggest bugaboo on social media are influencer apology videos.
Ooh.
Or like anytime that there's this like really highly intense emotional experience, I can't relate to somebody being like, oh, wait. Let me get this on camera.
No.
Or
Yeah. 100%
I'm
with you.
so
Yeah.
heartbroken and I'm so sorry, and thousands of people are angry at me because I did something ignorant or insensitive. So let me take this 12-minute video about how I'm going to apologize to you. And I want this to be sincere, and I want this to be, to me, my brain doesn't work like that. I've never been in a fight with my husband and been like, okay, let me record this and put it on my Facebook.
What? You haven't done
So
that?
it's,
That's so weird.
no, I know,
All my
I know.
fights with Chad, I'm like, I have to say something to you. Wait, hold up. I have to make sure that this is recording my good side.
Right? Like, I need everybody to have this. But like influencer apology videos or super intense emotional moments that aren't used as like a PSA or something like that. Like, if you're attempting to get information to people, cool. But I cannot tell you, like, do you remember there was like a huge trend where all of the makeup brand influencers were all getting caught doing like terrible shit?
Yep.
And then they would all tell on each other and all of this stuff.
Hmm.
And it felt like for months, my entire Facebook feed was just influencers apologizing and articles about their apology. And I don't care enough. I don't even know how to put on foundation, okay? I'm not here for your personality. I just need you to tell me what primer would be good for an oily/dry face. That kind of shit drives me insane. But I do just want to say like one thing. I am super nosy. I am a nosy Nelly. I want you to feel free to post all of your drama all the time on social media, and I will love you and I will support you and I will watch that shit to the bitter end. If you and Seth get into a relationship, I want to watch the whole thing. I want to see you two being lovey-dovey over messages and comments and celebrating your 1-week anniversary. And then when he leaves you for Stephanie, I want you to post all about it because you have that right. And I have the right to enjoy the delicious drama just any chance I want.
So we've got some thoughts clearly on social media, what we like, what we don't like, what we would like to see perhaps less of, maybe more of in Carly's case. But this is kind of where we're going today on how we're going to navigate this because as we start heading into November, it's about to get a whole lot worse, everybody. A whole
It's
lot worse. So
exhausting.
let's start with some stories and what other people have done before we kind of talk to you a little bit about what we would suggest.
Like I said earlier, I am someone who I will spring clean because it doesn't hurt my feelings if somebody unfriends me. I probably post stuff that you don't care about. Like, I treat social media not as something to talk to people, but to like look at cute pictures or to read things, right? So if somebody unfollows
Sure.
me, I'm like, yeah, on brand, makes sense. But I wanted to know, like, if I was just like the petty, judgy bitch, or if other people will unfriend people or unfollow people. But so I looked it up, and these were some of the funniest or most relatable reasons that people unfollowed their friends or family members. Number one is when they joined one of those stupid MLMs.
God.
How many times has your bully from high school messaged you and been like, hey, girly, I have this opportunity that I think you're going to really be great at, blah, blah, blah. And she sucks and the product sucks. And so it's just, number one, absolutely. I will never be mad at someone for unfollowing an ML.
Just get frustrated when they're like tricking me. So they start out with the message like, hey, I haven't talked to you in so long. How are you? And then they hit on some kind of personal thing. Like, I saw the picture of your kids. They've gotten so big or something along those lines. And then
Yep.
I answer back with like, hey, great to hear from you too. How are you doing? What's going on with you? And then they're like, well, so glad you asked. I am really successful in this budding new venture. Blah, blah, blah. And then I'm like, damn it. I just got tricked.
Every time. Like, that's a great business strategy, but like, fuck you for doing that.
Yeah.
Number two, he spoiled Game of Thrones. Yeah. Like, yeah, fuck that guy, whoever that is. Another one was when she started hooking up with my boyfriend.
I mean, I feel like that's a pretty good reason to be done with somebody, right?
I agree, but I also love the person that commented back to that one because they chose violence and it says hook up with her dad and post that on Facebook.
I mean,
You have options now. You have options.
that's a choice. Wow.
Another one I thought was hilarious was she said she needed to see wild hogs.
I was like needed in all caps because I feel like
I need to see wild hogs too. And then this one that I really enjoyed because I have been a bitter Betty many times, but this person unfollowed a couple, so two people, because, and I quote, I couldn't stand seeing them kiss every morning, so I unfollowed both of them.
Well, that's fair.
I just love that it was just like, ugh, gross. You like each other too much.
Yeah. No,
Unfriend.
I get it. Sometimes it's tough when you're not experiencing joy, but others are, and then you have to keep seeing it regularly.
No,
I can see that.
That's super fair. It's super fair. I don't know. My husband, anytime I post anything about him, that's the only time my social media gets more than like 1 or 2 likes.
Well, you're not going to believe this, but Facebook went ahead and turned my account into a digital creator account, my personal account. Yeah, I'm not really sure why that is. It's not like I have millions of followers or anything. I think like a couple thousand, I guess. And they were like, "You're a digital creator now." And I went, okay. So now, whenever I post something, it gives me all these analytics on like, here's how it did, and here's how you could reach more people, and here's how many people now follow you. And I'm like, okay. Like, and it's not really, I don't know. So that's a little weird. Like, that's a little strange. But I have found that sometimes having that kind of reach can backfire a little bit. So I was recently blocked by another entity, not even a person, although I was blocked by a person. But then shortly after was blocked by a whole business. There was a business who I had discovered had done some very underhanded shady things. And I'm not going to say because I know that the owner is very litigious, like
Mm.
enjoys bringing absolutely fruitless lawsuits against people. So I will say that a business was being very underhanded and dirty. And I had brief personal interactions with the owner of the company and with one of the people that worked in there. And so I had sent personal private messages to the owner and this one other person that I had actually hung out with them on a personal level at one time or another. And I
Yeah,
don't
it's
mean like
like a
multiple
personal
times. I mean like
exchange.
we had gone out, right?
Yeah.
Personally. And I just mommed the fuck out of him in these messages. Like I was like, I'm really disappointed in you. I mean, these are words that I actually use. I'm very disappointed in you. Expected more. Like
Oh,
these are the things that I said,
that
right?
shit stings. That
Thank
shit
you.
stings.
I
So
did
good for
not
you. I'm
use
proud of you.
any curse words in these things. I did not call them the names that I wanted to call them. I didn't. I literally just mommed the fuck out of them in these things. And before I knew it, I was asked to stop harassing the staff and blocked entirely by the business.
Mm.
And I went, okay, that's fair. So I made a post about underhanded and isn't it funny I was blocked, blah, blah. And I did put it on Instagram because they had not blocked me on that yet.
Nice.
Thank you. And then I tagged them because that was my petty side, right? Again, did not say you guys are dirtbags. I could have, but I didn't. And
Right.
then before blocking me on that, because they did a message that was like, you don't understand boundaries, and then blocked me. And I'm still trying to understand because it's not like I like rode up to the business. I didn't call them. I didn't like send letters. I didn't call names. I just said I'm disappointed in you and then put a
Mm.
message out that was like, I'm disappointed in you. But I have discovered with being blocked, like I can't even find this business on
Oh yeah.
social media now. Like
No, they're gone.
they no longer exist to me.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
that's fun.
They're like ghosts with complete unfinished business. So they're
Yeah.
not even lurking. You can't get them anywhere.
Yeah. Well, that's
Yeah.
exciting. Have you had any issues with being blocked or
I mean, like I said, I don't take it personally when people unfriend me. Recently, I had people reach out to me because of past life stuff that I've gone through. They thought that maybe my shit could be a solve for other people's shit. And I was like, well, I don't know, like this like I've never had a good relationship. This person has never liked me in any way. I don't think they're going to be like, "Oh, good, Carly reached out." But I was like, well, there was one night where I was feeling really guilty about it, so I was like went to do it and realized that me and this person are not friends or connected in any way on any social media. I don't have their phone number. And I was like, okay, I can't even send a carrier pigeon. I don't know where this person lives. Like, I am so sorry, but at this point in time, like, I have no access to this person. And it didn't hurt my feelings. It didn't make me upset. It didn't make me sad because it was like one of the few times where social media was a realistic representation of the relationship that I had with this person.
Sure.
I've always felt weird when people have been like, yeah, this is my friend that I met on the internet. We've never met before in person, but we've been friends for 9 years. I see it a lot with like video games or like people will private message each other on Instagram and become like besties and like will talk daily or like I could never be catfished because I don't fucking trust people on the internet or like ever. I had a Tinder for
Yeah.
like 3 weeks when I was single and I did match with people and that felt really nice, but every time I got a message it was just like I don't know you and I wouldn't respond.
Sure.
Like, it didn't matter what the message was. If it was like, "Hi, you're the most beautiful woman I've ever seen in my whole life," or like, "Do you like potatoes?" or like, "Sit on my face." It did not matter what the message was. I was not gonna respond because that was terrifying.
I like that those are all pickup lines. Like that really says a lot about
Yeah.
the just the bevy of men that are out there. One guy's "Do you like potatoes?" is another guy's "Sit on my face." I think that's
Oh,
really interesting.
yeah, no, it was super good, and I wish I could say that I was just, like, creative and came up with all of those, but those are all real messages I got verbatim, and so, like, being unfriended, people unfollowing me, I don't track it, so I don't know. I don't
Sure.
know when people unfollow so it doesn't make me feel bad. The closest I could get to it was one time I wrote a review on something on Amazon because it, like, gave us a security breach through our router. It was, like, one of those cameras, and
No, sure.
Amazon deleted it. And I was like, "Oh, I will not be silenced." And so then I wrote another comment on it, and then that one was also deleted. So I was like, "Oh, okay." So that's, like, the closest I guess I could relate to, like,
Wow.
unfriending and unfollowing. I do find myself snoozing things a
Oh,
lot
sure.
because, like, one month I'll be able to handle, like, dogs and rescues or in, like, high kill shelters trying to find homes, and then I may not be able to handle that the next month. And I have a couple people on my feed that are animal lovers just like me, and sometimes I have to snooze them for, like, 30 days if I'm in a little bit of a lull. Or even, like, sometimes I'm super into, like, mid-century modern homes, and that's all I wanna see on my feed, so I'll just snooze other shit, so all I get is cute interiors and stuff. So, like, I fuck with my algorithm all the time.
Well, what you're doing is actually the best thing. So, for
Thank
those
you.
people who are like, I've got these friends, they're saying some shit where I'm like, huh, had no idea you felt this way, or like, wait a second, what is that in the background of your photo? I'm uncomfortable, right? Like, all of these things. Okay. So you've got a couple of options. And the options really on Facebook specifically are going to be unfollow, unfriend, or block. And before unfollow is really snooze. So I guess in that order, it's going to be snooze, unfollow, unfriend, and block. And those are in that order. So here
Okay.
is the best suggestion for anybody who's like, what the hell do I do with these people? First, you have to ask yourself, is this someone who is an actual friend in real life and not just someone who happened to be on your social media? If the answer is a yes, then you probably want to either do the snooze or the unfollow. Snooze is a shorter version of unfollow. It means that they can pop back up after 30 days. Unfollow means they're still your friend. You can still message them. Everything's fine. You just don't have to see any of their posts.
Mhm.
And that's really kind of how that goes. If you unfollow them, they're not really going to see your posts either unless they actively go and look for it. But they can. But they can. So they can come find you if they want. But you
Yeah.
don't have to see their stuff. So if they're like, I have a full, 3-page dissertation on Murica, and you're like, I can't with
Right.
this,
Can't do it.
unfollow them. Okay. The next step is going to be unfriend. You want to try and not do that if you don't have to. Unfriend means they are straight removed entirely from your friend list and you are removed from them. They do not get a notification if you unfriend them, so they don't know unless they go into their friends list and look you up and you're not there. Or
Hmm.
they go to click on your profile and then it's going to have that button underneath their picture that says add friend.
Unfriend.
And then you go, oh, dang. Oh, dang.
Uh-oh.
And that can cause some major animosity. I have someone who I felt that this was a poisonous entity in my life. Maybe not for others, but for me was this like very negative human. This
Yeah.
is not anyone I needed to keep like a professional relationship with, let alone a personal relationship. And instead of unfollowing, which is what I just should have done, so I didn't have to deal with their shenanigans,
Right.
I unfriended.
Oh.
Yeah, and by unfriending, it set this person into a total tailspin where we're now like years later. And they went and told everybody in all of town that I was like a step above that I kill puppies. I mean, like it's
Right.
really like so aggressive. And the catalyst was really I unfriended them. And that did not
Jesus.
go over well. Yeah. So unfriending really is
That can be
that's
hard.
rough, man.
That can be
Yeah,
rough.
that's be prepared that that may end up hurting you. And now the final one, this is your nuclear option. This is block.
Mm,
Block
I like it.
means no longer can you see their stuff. They can no longer see yours. They can't even see that you exist. You no longer even exist on social media.
I love
Disappeared,
that.
gone. And if you guys have a mutual friend and you post something like a comment on your mutual friend's thing, they can't even see your post and you can't see theirs. Like you're both invisible and ghosty, even if you have a mutual friend.
See, and I like that. I
Yeah.
like that a lot. Like,
So, but understand blocking is it's a nuclear because
yeah.
like they'll go to find you and then all of a sudden they're like, what do you mean? Like Facebook has no record of them as humans? Same thing with Instagram.
Right.
Blocking, you do not exist. So,
Well, see, I enjoy that. The only time anybody's ever been mad at me before for unfollowing or anything, they literally had a post that was like, if you don't like this political party, unfriend me now. And I was like, oh, okay. I listen and follow directions. So I just like unfriended them because I truly thought, like, my little head, you want to curate your feed to be what
sure.
you are. I didn't realize that it was like, I didn't realize that this was this like, foot in the sand. And I was at the bar like 3 months later, and this person refused to talk to me, and I was told through a mutual friend at the bar with us that they weren't gonna talk to me because I unfriended them.
Exactly.
And I was like, "What? Hold on a minute. You said if you don't do this, then go away." So, like, I did what you told me to do.
No, that's like when people are like, I'm so hungry, I could eat a cow. They're not going
Oh,
to actually eat a cow, even if it's offered to them. They don't,
God,
they don't actually want it.
Jesus.
I know.
I don't get it.
But
I
you can
don't.
see unfriending
Yeah.
really like it'll blow up in your face. So the easiest thing is, especially if you see somebody that's like, unfriend me, just unfollow them
Yeah. Just
because then
unfollow it.
they don't know any better. They
Right.
don't know any better. And the only time you really want to block someone anyway is if they're like bullying in a group situation and
Yeah.
you don't want to have their comments be seen. Like meh. But
Yeah.
any other way, I encourage our listeners, maintain those relationships. Don't blow up those bridges on your way out. Just
Right.
unfollow. You don't know. Maybe the person who's posting this incredibly ridiculous stuff, maybe they're having a time right now.
Maybe.
Maybe they're just in a moment.
Or do the other option and let all of the bridges that you burn light your path to the future and just unfriend everybody, block everybody, and deal with the repercussion, but know that you don't have to deal with stupid people that you don't want to. I don't know. I
Okay. I
almost
like this.
I almost like the idea. Like, yeah, you can like it's one of those like choose violence moments, I guess, because I don't know. Maybe it's just because to me it doesn't mean a lot. Like,
But that's you.
Yeah.
As I have discovered, the number of people who really like
It
social
means
media
something.
is the defining factor in their relationships with people.
Oh, that's true, like, going Facebook official, that was really
Yes.
big for a lot of people. I was with my husband, and people would be like, Are you guys Facebook official yet?" And it's like, "What? I don't why does
Yeah.
that matter?"
I mean, and this is not a new thing. I mean, I know you're not quite
No.
old enough for this, but like MySpace, we put
Oh,
all of our friends in order from the ones we liked the best, like
no, I had a
on our
MySpace. I
cover. Oh,
was
you did?
I was the generation where it was really, really, really big, and you could, like, curate your whole page right as Facebook was, like, coming in,
Oh,
like, where it had become, like, an exact science. Yeah, you had, like, the top 5, top 10, like
yeah. And then you always knew like where you were at. I always
yeah.
just made it easier. I kept what was the main guy? He was always like your
Tom.
very Tom. Tom was always my number one friend
Me
because
too!
it made life easier. So yeah, this is our gift to you all. As you step into this political nightmare that is slowly, not even slowly, rapidly unfolding around us, if you can't handle the shenanigans, don't engage. Just don't engage. It's just going to blow up in your face. And you know what? You have way better things to deal with right now than to try and convince someone of something that, guys, let's be real, they're not looking to be convinced. If they've
No.
posted something out there, they don't need someone to go, but do you really feel that way? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, they do. So just don't. Just don't. Decide how you're going to react. Unfollow, unfriend, or block.
Mm,
Or really delicately snooze if you feel like maybe they're just having a brief mental breakdown. So today I have our affirmation to
I'm
kind of
ready.
get us through the ugliness. Ready? Happiness is a choice. And today I choose to be happy.
Hmm.
Happiness is a choice. And today I choose to be happy. I'm not going to engage with Captain Crazy in my social media feed.
Disengage. There's no reason to have an argument where one typo makes you look like an idiot.
Yeah, don't do it. If I really want to argue with someone, I will try and talk with my 12-year-old about bands or fashion.
Mm. Mhm.
Really just get into it.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
That's fair.
All right, well, guys, it's been nice to meet up with you. We have a very fun edition that's going to be joining us this week, so we hope that you guys check it out. We're going to be adding spooky Saturdays to our lineup.
Ooh.
We had
Yeah.
such a great response from our little supernatural
Yeah.
spooky app.
Our spooky season extravaganza.
As I was told today, we are getting into spooky season, and I was like, "Really? It's July?" And they went, "Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly." And I went,
So
"Oh,
technically,
okay."
July 5th is the first day of spooky season because there's like no fun holiday that you decorate for between 4th of July and Halloween. So it's spooky season, bitches.
All right.
Most
Well,
wonderful time of the year.
and on that note, we encourage you guys to check out Spooky Saturdays. So we're going to be releasing another weekly episode on Saturdays we're going to share with you guys some spooky, fun, wild human stories. So that'll be a good time, I think. So check it out. Tell us what you think. As ever, find us on social media on We're All Fine Podcast. You can email us, We're All Fine Podcast @gmail.com. We love you guys.
Guys.
Bye.